Hey everybody, I'm Joe Killinger. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur, and we put these videos together every week to give you all the tips and insights from my experience over the last several years. So make sure you tune in and subscribe, and thank you. Guys, so today's video is about what to look for in your first multifamily investment. So I've actually got a couple of experienced brokers here. I'm going to pan over here, come over here. George Pino, Commercial Brokers International, Aaron Jacobson, Commercial Brokers International. So we're going to just walk around the property, give you an idea of what you should be looking for. So if you like what you see today, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you smash that like button at the end of the video. So, all right guys, so tell me, I'm a first-time investor in multifamily real estate. I should walk up to the property. What should I be looking for?
Well, first, I think you just want to check to see if the building is structurally sound. Just kind of see the health of the building. I think that's first and foremost.
How do I do that? What am I looking for?
So you're going to be looking just to see if the railings over here are strong enough. You know, you see by the windows over there, they've been redone, right? The double pane windows, and
cracks in the foundation would be a good thing.
Cracks in the foundation, yeah. You can start checking out. Right here we have a small crack. Not, it doesn't seem like a big problem. Initial step. This one seems a little higher than the others.
Okay.
That might be something to check into. Also, you want to see at the end of the day, because it's an investment, you want to see what it can bring to the table for you. And that includes what kind of expenses you might have. You're going to look at, the landscaping, see what kind of, you might need a gardener for this place, and, maybe another multi-family building you might not. So just think of the things you would look for when renting out a place where you want to live, and just kind of magnify it a little bit to, you want happier tenants, you're going to make a little bit more money. Right? And that's the way I like to think of it.
Yeah, so when we're out here just walking around the initial, you're looking at now, like Aaron did point out, that the step probably is not exactly the code. We might have to have that taken a look at. And if you come over here, and you see where the sprinklers have a little bit of damage, you want to look at that. You don't see any cracks though, and so we're probably in good shape there. Now, when you do go into escrow on the deal, you're going to want to make sure that you get a full-blown inspection on it. You're going to want to check all the roof, electrical, plumbing, foundation. So I guess why don't we go on around through to go onto the property. So what would you guys be looking at in here?
Well, a couple things I look at here is, we're looking at the common areas here. So what we're looking at is how is it going to appeal to your potential residents that are living here. In addition to that, a couple of things that we start looking at is, for the current residents, make sure that they are, that you're not inheriting a headache, that, you don't have mops hanging out or things like that. It's actually pretty neat and tidy throughout here. The next thing we start looking at is how is it maintained as far as with the common area landscaping, is it usable space? You can see that they have some landscaping that's through here, but also that you start seeing that there's some chairs and tables set up so that it's more of a sense of community that appears to be used. From there we look at who are your neighbors. I think that's a key thing that a lot of people, when looking at a new property or looking at property, don't take into consideration is the neighbors. Who are the neighbors? Are your neighbors going to cause problems? Going to make it difficult to rent an area or not?
And backing off of that, it's not just your next door neighbors, it's the entire area. Here we're in Mar Vista. It's a pretty nice area in LA, and you just want to get an idea of where your location is. They say rules 1 and 2 and 3 are location, location, location. So it's just something else to take into account.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is in Los Angeles, what's the code on the for the handrails, the distance?
Well, you have Los Angeles, it's not so much the LA code, it's an insurance code, that's 4 inches.
4 inches.
Yep.
So that's something you definitely want to take a look at. Now, if it isn't, you've got to put something in between or a screen around it. So Now let's go back to take a look at the parking. You've got how many units here? 8 units.
8 units.
And how many parking?
4.
So okay, so parked at 50%.
Mm-hmm.
All outside parking.
Yes.
So now, if you're an investor, would you be looking at covered parking here?
I mean, it's something to take a look into to see if you might be able to charge more for it. If you can, I mean, it's something to look into.
Yeah.
I think with the rents that you're getting and the type of unit mix, one of the things that you want to do is take a look at why it's parked at 4 at half.
Right.
And one of the reasons is that half the units here, it's an 8-unit building, but half the units are efficiency studios.
So if you're
So a lot of within Los Angeles, a lot of the studios do not have covered parking.
right.
Majority of them do not.
Now, is there permit parking out front? I know there's plenty of street parking. I saw that, but is it permit?
No,
If you look?
there's not permit. It's
Okay.
plenty open.
Oh, then you're
Even
fine.
better.
But see, what I was talking with Aaron about is if I had this, you have the 3 spots here. I mean, it's got to be less than $1,000 per spot, right, to build a carport at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and you could raise the rents 100, 150 a month.
I don't know if you'll
75?
get that much, but you're probably looking at close to maybe 25, 50, I think. I don't know.
That's it.
I would think. I mean,
Okay.
I think it's because most of the parking in the immediate area is what you want to do is look at what is in the immediate area as well. Most of it's all uncovered parking or not enclosed parking.
Right.
It's tuck under.
Okay.
So you're comparing that to if there were actual garages that you could lock and close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to get those much higher rents.
Okay.
But as just a carport, you're just a little bit.
In Los Angeles right now, if you have tuck under parking, you've got to do the earthquake retrofit. So
Yeah.
that's something you want to keep in mind if you're out there for your first time investment in Los Angeles. So why don't we go into the first unit? Sure. Let's take a look at it. Oh, I'll go behind the door here. You guys go ahead and age before beauty. Is that the saying?
I believe so.
I'll follow you in. All right. So what do you guys like about this unit?
I initially see the wall heater. Looks new.
Yeah, it's the older style, but it's newer.
It's newer.
It looks like it's brand new, actually.
Yeah. Hardwood flooring.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to come into the kitchen. Granted, looks redone.
Yeah.
The entire kitchen looks redone.
No appliances.
No appliances. I also look if it's stainless or white.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a preference with certain types of tenants on that one.
Now, if I wanted to get a new stove, or maybe how about a rebuild? Have you guys ever done rebuilds? Stoves, refrigerators?
I have not.
I've used them in
Yeah.
some of the apartments that we've owned. I mean, it's anywhere from 300 up to, depending on what you want. But it's typically, it might be really able to even find some older ones that are in the 150 range. Relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
What I look at, because I mean, these are newer. This apartment itself was actually completely remodeled recently with new cabinets, new kitchen countertops, new plumbing, new appliances. We start looking at some of the other things as well as I start looking at what is going to make this more attractive. Because Aaron had mentioned earlier that you had windows that were new. Not only are they new, but they're also dual glazed, insulated windows. So they're going to cut back on some of the noise. That's what people are going to want to look at. A lot easier to use. You also have upgraded blinds throughout here. There are actual wood blinds, not just the cheap little blinds. So when we start looking at things, I start looking at, what is going to be attractive? You have additional storage where the cabinets were done, as opposed to raising them all the way up. You can put stuff on top. You have fans here. You walk on.
These here is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've really done an upright in ceiling fan too.
Yep.
Which can save a lot. Was there air conditioning in this unit?
Well, so this one does have air conditioning. Unit number 3 does have air conditioning in this unit.
Okay, I'll let you guys go ahead on in. We don't need that many people in there.
As we walk into the bedroom itself, when we look at a bedroom that is actually a fairly decent size, not your typical 10 by 10, it's a little bit larger than that, probably 11 by 12, which is going to be a lot more attractive to a lot of people. Also, a huge closet. You have a closet space that is an actual walk-in space. Yep. So that's some of the things that we look at. In addition to that, we have, in this particular unit does have air conditioning, which is a very rare thing to see in California, but also very much in demand.
Show them the bathroom now. Sunken lights around too. Very nice.
Again, what's nice about this is you have a remodeled bathroom. So, you know, you look at stuff that easy to see. You have tempered glass, you have a glass enclosure, you have fiberglass enclosure throughout, which is easy to maintain. But it looks really stylish and very nice. And you also have handlebars or handbars for handicap access.
I also like to check in just to make sure the toilet flushes well, the sinks work.
Yep, we actually just tested it, and you probably may have heard it in the background, but yeah, it's a great idea. Check it out.
Just to make sure the plumbing is okay. You know, as an investor, you want to know that your tenants are going to be happy. And if you have happy tenants, you're going to have a better return.
Very good. All right. Slide to the next unit. This is U-turn. So, is this a studio right here?
Yes.
So we'll go into the studio right next door. And then once you just take him right in there.
So again, we have an efficiency studio unit here. So one of the things that we look at here is what can we make use of that is going to be attractive to somebody that's going to be living in an efficiency studio. So immediately, first thought process is the kitchen. So we take a look at the kitchen, see what's there. You know, you do have a small efficiency refrigerator, cooktop, and a microwave. First thing you notice though, there's no oven. What's great about this is this microwave is actually an oven as well. So, you know, the owners thought about it, made sure they built it in, has the venting going all the way up. So these are things that you want to look at and make sure that, you know, don't just walk in there and assume that this is just a microwave.
It's a great selling point.
Great selling point, especially with a lot of efficiency units. And then again, this unit has air conditioning.
And this is something that
a large pantry.
the investors did to add value. And at the end of the day, adding value is the best way to get your best return. Is they thought of adding the microwave with the convection oven in it. You know, also having the fridge and all these things just makes life easier for someone young in their 20s,
Sure.
single, right here. Also,
You know what? There are other things that you can do. For example, there's you can get where your dishwasher goes. You can actually get washers and dryers that slide right into that spot, and they're not that expensive. That can add a lot of value for you as well. And something that a lot of investors, if you get a place like this, you see now they've done a nice paint job, but you can do a colored wall, and you can charge extra for it, an extra $20, $30 a month. And some people would like to add additional colors. So what you can do is have like 5 different colors that you can choose from, and let them pick, and you can go in and paint it, just paint over this wall, and give them a nice color alternative. So, do you know when the roof was done on this property? Do you want to?
the roof was done pretty recently. It was less than 10 years old, I believe.
Actually, about 2 years.
2 years.
So
Okay.
it's for less than 10 years old. Okay. All right.
No, it's a brand new roof. It does have a warranty on this particular property. You know, the ownerships were great about this property. Is they did a lot of stuff that first time investors may not even be aware of or should look into, but they should be looking into it. You know, so there is a new water main. Okay, so that is usually overlooked. Most people don't even look at the water main. They may look at some of the plumbing in the building itself, but they don't check the actual water coming in from the street.
Right.
Also, there's a new sewer line going with a new clean out. So most importantly is cleanup, because a lot of buildings in this age don't have cleanouts that were built easily accessible cleanouts for the sewage lines.
Okay.
So because of that, if you have a clog or you have an issue, it's going to be extremely expensive. This ownership actually tore out the old sewer lines going out to the alley, actually, and put in brand new ones with cleanouts. So you have a new sewer line with a cleanout, which in case you have a clog or anything else, instead of being a $500-700 fix, it's a relatively inexpensive $150-200. So it saves money right there doing that. So those are some key tips, I think, with new investors especially, because that's something that they normally don't see, nor do they really even look at that much.
Right, yeah, I don't think about it because it's under the property going out, so very key. Okay, any other tips from either one of you guys about first-time multifamily investors? What should they know?
I would say that we can go and check the back just to make sure the meters are there for gas and electricity. I know there's a laundry room in there. That's an additional way to add income to the property, and I think that's
okay. Let's take a quick look. Just leave it open. We're gonna come back. One of these laundry. We're in. It's locked up. So is there a washer and a dryer?
Yeah.
Washer and a dryer. Coin operated or card?
just coin operated.
Okay. Coin. Prefer to see card.
Yeah. Nowadays we're seeing a lot
More and more.
cards, and you know that means something to make it a little bit easier for your tenants.
Yeah, and less chance of anybody trying to break in if it's a card.
Yeah.
So, and then you got the meters back here.
So we have an 8-unit building, and then we have 3 times 3, 9 electric meters for 8 units and the common areas for the laundry room and the lighting out in the front.
Okay.
And we also have 9 more gas meters over here for the same 8 units plus common area.
You notice that the whole property is very clean. This ownership has done a really nice job maintaining this property, fixing it up, getting it ready to sell. And then when are you guys going to put this on the market?
Probably within the next week to 2 weeks.
Week to 2 weeks. So, all right. Well, Aaron, George, I'm going to put their contact information at the end of the video. Make sure if you have any questions, you reach out to them or reach out to me and I'll put you in direct contact. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again next week. And if you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe.